Thank you very much, and thank you to everyone for coming and expressing your interest in this really important issue at a really critical time. Justice is in fact on trial in London right now. Lady Arbuthnot, the Chief Magistrate in the extradition case against Julian Assange, says no one is above the law. Scott Morrison, of course, loyally says the same, adding that Assange should face the music. When Julia Gillard years ago said that Assange broke the law and then was asked what law he had broken, she didn't know. Emma Arbuthnot's husband, Lord James Arbuthnot, who between 2005 and 2014 chaired the UK Parliament's Select Defence Committee, oversaw Britain's military operations in Afghanistan, Iraq and Libya. So apparently he's above the law, and so is Tony Blair. So are all the Allied leaders whose forces invaded Iran and Syria. So far, so are the troops who committed war crimes in Afghanistan and in other countries. They are the ones who should be facing the music. Instead, Julian Assange, who since 2010 has been exposing these and other crimes, is the one who's in court. But for these leaders, the leaders of our so-called rule of law, common law countries, it's not actually about Assange at all. He has to be made an example of to stop people telling the truth about their wars, which kill hundreds of thousands. The truth that he told didn't kill anyone. It just embarrassed them. So they use the justice system to protect themselves from more embarrassment. They want to accuse anyone, anywhere, of espionage, if they can, against either UK or the United States. But the United States won't extend the First Amendment to them. The justice system in these three common law countries is on trial here, and the presumption of innocence. Those in authority in the United States say Assange is guilty for revealing what Americans are guilty of. In the UK, they know Assange is guilty of nothing, but they treat him as guilty. In Australia, they say Australia is guilty of whatever the US and the UK say he's guilty of. But Australia is waking up. Crowds are gathering here and in London. A petition with 280,000 signatures was sent late last year to the federal parliament. That, if it was in the UK, would trigger a debate in the House of Commons. Prominent Australians are supporting Assange, Bob Carr, Dick Smith, Barnaby Joyce, even Alan Jones, 75% of whose listeners the other day wanted repatriation of Assange to Australia. A parliamentary friendship group is calling on the government to bring Assange home. It's led by, of all people, George Christensen and Andrew Wilkie, who has just spent several hours talking with Assange in London, and I spoke to him yesterday on the phone about that. In past cases, 3 sets of voices were raised in Australia. You'll remember. The politicians, the media, and the people. In the cases that you'll remember of David Hicks, he came home from Guantanamo Bay, Schapelle Corby and Renee Lawrence came home from Indonesia, James Ricketson from Cambodia, Peter Grester from Egypt, and Hakim Al-Arabi from Thailand. Jock Palfreman is still in Bulgaria, and Kylie Moore-Gilbert is still in Iran. But when the 3 sets of voices, politicians, the media, and the people, raised their voices, it happened. It can happen again. If we could go to great lengths for those people, why not for Assange? He's not even a drug trafficker. He's just a journalist who publish the truth about the US and its allies. And it's not only journalism, therefore, that is on trial in London this week. It's what our politicians go on about and on until it applies to them, the rule of law. Thank you.